Everybody, how you doing? This is Mark Mega Maestro joining you. I tried to go live, but apparently I don't have enough subscribers, enough views. So please like and subscribe. You'll hear some noise in the background because my son is playing with his car outside the room. And so I just wanted to talk about my experience with the Volkswagen Cc that I had. Um, and I don't want to keep this video too long. Um, I think last year, earlier part of last year, around maybe February, I bought a Volkswagen Cc for about $1,000. I thought it was a good deal, of course. I went over there and checked the car. I turned the engine. It did turn. I checked turned the engine with a tool. It turned. And the guy that I bought it from, the guy that was selling it to me, said that all I needed to do is I needed to get the key programmed to the car, and that he was having trouble programming the key to the car. But you see, that was not even the problem. I mean, that car had so many problems with it. And so it begins. I'm starting out as a guy that's buying and selling cars, and I used my tax money to buy this car. So it was kind of like an investment to see if I can start up this car business thing that I was doing. And so I had free towing, so I got the car towed to my house. And when I got it towed to my house, I started working on it. The car wasn't really cranking. The alarm was going off all the time, and the windows would roll down automatically. And sorry, that's my son. And the fan of the car would come on when I put the key in the ignition. And I didn't know too much about cars back then, as much as I know now. Oh wow, because of that car, I know a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna try as much as I can to tell you everything. Okay. I think about maybe a week after I got the car, I've been working on the car trying to get it started, and I noticed something. I got a tool to turn the crank, and it would turn about maybe 180, and it would stop. In my mind, I'm thinking maybe this is a mechanism, a safety mechanism, so it doesn't ruin the engine. But each time I turned it both ways, left and right, and it would stop at the same point. And I'm like, maybe it's a safety mechanism. But the thought came into my mind was like, this engine is jacked up. Because there's a bunch of stuff wrong with this car. Okay, so let me go back a little bit. Before I did that, I got the car towed to the Volkswagen dealership, and first of all, the Volkswagen dealership, they're extremely dishonest. But there's a recall on the engines, the Volkswagen Cc, because the engines, they just destroy themselves because of the timing chain tensioner. And so I had that problem. The engine had already destroyed itself, but I didn't know it when I bought the car because I didn't do my research before buying the car. I didn't do my research about common problems, which is a lesson I learned very dearly. And so I took the car to the dealership, and I had the money ready to get the key programmed. So they tried to program the key, nothing. The key would not program. I bought a brand new key, I think $140. The programming was like an extra $100. They tried to program it, nothing. And so I called them to see what was going on. They were like, they couldn't program the key. And they were like, they need to get a steering wheel column lock. That's another problem with the Volkswagen Cc. If the steering wheel column lock goes bad, your car will not start. So I told the dealership, okay, go ahead and order a steering wheel collar. I think that was about 140 to 200 bucks. They ordered it. It came in, and they couldn't program it to the car. And I found that out by just calling them, and I was like, they told me that. I was like, what? And so they're like, well, why don't we? I'd already spent some money there. I think I spent about 500 bucks there. And so they're like, I think the next step to go is to buy a new computer for the car because it's not able to read the computer of the car. So I was like, oh, absolutely not. By this time, I was like, this dealership, they probably know what's really going on with the car and they don't want to tell me and they just want to spend money. So what happened is that I got my car towed back to the house and I was about, 500 bucks out, and I sold my truck that was my Dodge truck that wasn't doing too well. I sold it so that I could have some money to fix the Volkswagen Cc because I was going to use the Volkswagen Cc to go to work because it was such a fuel efficient car. Just a middle disclaimer: don't mess with Volkswagen. Volkswagens are a piece of junk. Anyway. And so I decided to do my own investigation. Now, this is where it comes back to where I turned the engine. I found out it wouldn't turn 360. It just stopped at a 180-degree mark on both sides. Like it would go one, bow, hit it, go again, one, bow, hit it again. The crank wouldn't turn. So what I did, I was like, I checked the spark. I took out the spark plugs and I got a flashlight and I looked into the hole. I was like, oh, wow. The pistons were destroyed. I could see the pistons in pieces when I looked down in the hole. And from then on, it's almost like I almost went into a depression at that point. I almost went into a depression at that point. But then I just walked into my house. I said a few words to my wife and I said, the engine is bad. I spent my tax money to buy this car that was a pile of junk, and I thought all I needed is to get the key change, but no. That was just part of the problem. Part of the problem. So what happened is, I guess I could continue. I'm going on 7 minutes now. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. What happened was I did a little praying because I'm a Christian and I pray about everything. And that's what really kept me from losing a lot of money on this car. I did some praying and I decided that something inspired me. I think the Holy Spirit inspired me. Something inspired me to put another engine in the car. And so I've never put an engine in a car before in my life. I have done some engine work on cars before, but putting an engine in a car is like, to me, it's like brain surgery, nuclear science. It was like, wow. But the interesting thing is, a week ago when I was looking for parts, I found a guy in Florida that specifically dealt with these cars, and he couldn't sell me the parts I needed. But he was a major help in my in this experience, because since he was able to deal with these cars, he was able to give me advice on actually putting an engine in the car. So let's move. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So basically, you know what? I'm going to leave the rest for part 2. How about that? And please like and subscribe. I wanted to keep the video at 10 minutes because I don't want it to be too long. So let's go ahead and stop the video right now. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends, comment, give me ideas of videos I can do, and then I'll continue with the next video. All right? You guys have a good day.